Good afternoon, everybody. Today we have present the MC campaign for the WizKids. And this is our agenda and for today's presentation. And first, please give me a little time allow us to introduce ourselves. We are Fox Marketing Agency, and we established in 2005, and we expertise in short and long-term fundraising strategies for the charities. And our mission is to promote and develop the interest and the varieties activities for the different charities in the UK. And then it's a market overview for the whole England and Wales, and Angela will present.
There are 180,000 charities in England and Wales charity market. It means this is a very competitive market, and there are a lot of people. There are huge numbers of people happy to donate. The trust is 900,000, and employees in 900,000, which is 3 million people, and they donate around 69 billion incomes in 2015, the start of 2015 to the September of 2015.
And we are WizKids. WizKids is a UK's leading charities for the disabled children. And they are working to transform their lives by providing the specialized equipment and the support and the life skills for the children. And they aim to make the disadvantaged children just like a normal child. And now we will just explain the key figures for the WizKids and where are we now, and how about the next stage, what we are going to.
We can see from the 2010 to 2014, they have a big decline in the 2014 in the total income. And from these two bar chain are the WizKids income in 2013. The income, the regional income occupied a very small proportion. So we will focus on the regional market to increase our total income. And compare with some other competitor, we can, from this chart, we can see the WizKids total income is very negative, and in 2015 it's declined.
We will move to pastoral analysis. Government has limited the financial support for charities, so the majority of the donations now come from individuals, institutions, and enterprises. And taxation policy would affect the likelihood of donors to continuing to donate and obtaining new donors. Economic factors may have major impacts on the donation and on how charities make new decisions. For instance, during recession, a decrease in disposable income may result in decreased donations and memberships of charities. And the increased access to multimedia has improved the speed and geographical reach of information transfer. Use social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter to reach current and potential donors. In order to use new forms of technology, updated hardware and well-trained staff is needed. And for the SWOT analysis, the strength for WizKids is that they have a clear message delivery, and all events and activities have well-fitted theme, and they have specialized wheelchairs for disabled children. And the weaknesses is like of eye-catching AdWords, and different campaigns should be well designed for different target groups. And the opportunities is that charity fits with the zeitgeist of several consumer megatrends. And the spreads are the charity market is highly competitive, and recession has dumped giving. The positioning statement is for educational institutions and enterprises located in London, Sussex, and Kent who want to support and contribute. WizKids is a home with love for disabled children. Among its competitors, WizKids is the expert among all the meeting individual needs.
And for our objective, our business goal is to grow into a leading charity for children within the UK market, and our marketing objective is to increase funds by approximately 715,000 in 2016 and 1 million in 2017 after the campaign. And this is our IMC objectives. We have 4 main objectives. The first is to get 30% of the target audience to be aware of WizKids in the next 2 years, and to gain brand preference and trust from target market when they make charitable choices, and to increase new institutional dollars by 82 in 2016 and by 180 in 2017. And the first is to encourage current supporters with our fundraising events and activities. And this is the overview of our IMC campaign. The campaign message is to forget what you can get and see what you can give. And our target market is the universities in London and medium-sized businesses in Kent and Sussex. Our 3 main goals is to increase awareness. This is to be achieved by PR and social media. And secondly, to get new supporters and donations by PR, social media, direct marketing, personal selling. And the third one is to gain engagement from the audience by social media and websites. And this is our target market. We plan to reach 10 higher educational institutions in London out of 47 higher institutions in total. And for Kent and Sussex, we want to reach mid-term-sized enterprises, and we want to reach 36 in the separate region divided by the industry. And for the next year, we also want to reach 10 higher education institutions, but for the numbers for medium-sized enterprises, we increase the number to 16 in Kent and 48 in Sussex.
And here is our IMC campaign, and we divide it into sectors. And the first is for the universities. And the universities, the target audience, we want to focus on the universities in London, just the main university in the city center. And our IMC objective for these universities, we just want to increase awareness. Because maybe some students, just like in UK, this country, some people, they don't have the sense of the responsibility and awareness and to make a donation. So we want to, through the school, and to engage more audience for the younger people. And now we want to get some donation through some activities. And we want to deliver the key message for the unions. It just give a little and have a lot. Such like the students and the staff in the union, maybe they can't donate a large amount of money. They just want to show their own heart to give a contribution for these disabled children. And we want to
delivery and to organize the event on these three sectors, just like PR, direct marketing, and the personal selling. And we want to use the media channel to just like event, social media, and emailing. Such like some details we will explain in the next slides. And now also the same, we will have something for the business, and we target the audience is a medium-sized business, banking, insurance, and retailing in the three different areas. The location is Kent, Sussex, and also including some in London. And the main objective is to increase awareness and to get the support from the companies and to raise the money for the whiskies. And we want to deliver our message. It just stand together and we can make a change for the children. And we choose the communication tools is PR, direct marketing, personal selling, and the middle channel events, the same like the union. And here is the PR we want to do in the universities. We just want to make a very fun way to get everybody in the union to involve our donation for the whiskies. And we will have the events just like very easy lunchtime activities, just like the cake sales students, they can baking their cookies at home and they can just sell for each other. The money around the 3 to 5 pounds is not a lot, and everybody can afford it. Also, we will have events like the second-hand books sales. Everybody we can exchange the books and to donate money. And we have some special events, just like weekends, some holiday, and the reading week. We can organize students to join us the sports day, as the hiking weekends, and the quiz night. And the media audience is we selected the main universities students to join us, and just to engage our audience and increase awareness and to get the support. And now we will for the business.
For the public relations events, for our selected medium-sized business, we will hold an evening party, and the same is back to use, like free entry and free food, but the drinks are excluded. And we want to, like the wine ordering donation means that 15% of the wine selling income of that night will go to whiskies, and people also can donate. And we want to look to the short-term and long-term cooperation and sponsorship for whiskies.
And now we will use the social media, and the social media is just like it happened before our events. It just we will post some activities, notice everybody to join us, and just to reinforce the connection between our events and our students. As the media audience, we included the students, teaching staff, and for the business part, we will including the local banking institution and the retailers like some supermarket. We will have, if you buy some food and you can donate just like £1 and for the charities. And we will through all the platforms like the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, we will just give one example. If we have the sports and events, we just like 3 days to the family running, and today's important item for the checklist. It's not like to okay, you join us events and you give our money. We just give a remember. That's okay. Don't forget to take away something for these events. And then on YouTube, we will post some videos before the events and to tell the students and the staff who want to join us what activities and what forms, and then to show them. And after the events, we will recommend the events stories, and also we'll do something on the Twitter and Instagram, something about the content art.
And for the direct marketing techniques, we want to send direct email to the people in the institutions and the enterprises. And the channel is mainly is from these institutions and enterprises. And we want to email some materials like invitation letters to inform this audience to engage in our activities and events, and also the donation pages. It's like easy access to the donation, and also the promotional information, like some cooperation with some brands, like just £1 you give and will give to disabled children. And also we want to collect some replay cards to know how many people will join to the events, and that we can organize the whole events, and also the feedback. And for personal selling, one thing is easy lunchtime. We can sell some products like cakes and second-hand books to collect some money from the people who join the events. And we also want to do some speeches, like some lectures to do some background introduction, and also some gathering to call for action. And this is our budget. We want to allocate the budget into corporates and universities, divided by social media part, events, and direct mail. And this is our timing. As you can see that we want to, there are some gaps between the events, social media, and mail, because we want to use social media to arouse awareness from the audience, to inform that there's an event and to invite them to attend. And then after the event finished, we will to send some direct mail to the audience to get some feedback, and also to send some direct letter, invitation letter to the next events. And this is our reference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. I thought there was a really lovely line that came in quite sort of about a third of the way in, which was "give a little, help a lot," which was a great line. That you kind of, you then ignored it, and it could have actually been quite a nice little thing to develop and weave throughout the campaign. You then seem to go on to stand together and we can make a change for corporates, I think, which I think was probably a shame, because you probably don't need a different sort of creative message for different sectors with a campaign as small as this. Although having seen your budget at the end, it wasn't quite as small as I thought it was going to be. We'll come on to that. I wasn't quite sure. Can you explain what the #chips, #pasta was about?
It's just like on the social media, if we do some hashtag, and we will engage more audience, because.
But how was chips and pasta?
It's just like the food, and we give you the checklist. Don't forget this is. It's just we give example.
Right. Okay. It just didn't seem to have anything to do with WizKids. If hashtags are a means
We
of...
also will have some other hashtag. This is
Right.
just example, like we will have WizKids sport events, this hashtag, or WizKids running this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought your timing plan was suspiciously pretty. I've never seen such a timing plan that it just looks like it looks like a tablecloth with it was so equally divided. But can we go back to your budget? Because that adds up to a shed load of money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
Over 400,000.
yeah,
The bottom three meant to add up to the top one.
No, it's universities, the top.
corporate social.
Corporates is on that side.
Yeah.
That's the social media for corporates, the events for corporates, and the main corporates. And don't those three add up to
No.
265?
That corporate is for the medium-sized business. We choose that companies and they will donate this money. We want to receive this money
That
from
was
the
a
business.
target market, so how do you have something for a target market and then something different for the tools, for the delivery? I presumed those for the delivery for the one above. Are they not?
No.
So what is that 265,000 going on?
Corporates.
You've got the 265,000. What's that for?
That is for the medium-sized business company because we
But to
choose.
do what? What are you going to do?
What are you going to spend it on?
Uh,
Is that what you're raising?
That was the
What we
plan.
choose, just like for example, we choose 10 companies
Yeah.
from the cans, and these companies, including the retailing sectors and
Yeah.
the bank
Yeah.
and the insurance sectors. And these companies are just like the employees, and maybe they have some companies events and to raise the money.
So that is that what that is that
Is
the
that revenue?
so that's income.
Uh,
That 265. Is that what you're raising?
Okay, so we get the idea that you don't quite...
You're not quite sure. Okay.
But it does look suspicious.
The other issue is, are you talking about over 2 years here, or
yeah, it's a
have you
2
got a
years.
timeline for 2 years? Is that a 2-year budget?
So what are you spending in total each year?
Each year.
Okay.
You got...
Sorry.
Can I also... Oh, sorry, I'll get back here. The ones you've listed as medium-sized businesses are not. Retail, very rarely, unless you're going to go to little tobacconists and newsagents, isn't a medium-sized business. Insurance definitely isn't a medium-sized business, and banks are.
We choose some local bank, the small bank.
Yeah, but
And-
a local bank has a head office in London. It's not, they're not small businesses.
But to be fair to Carol, it's quite possible that HSBC has a national branding policy,
Yeah,
policy,
so therefore
but it
it's-
will leave its local branches to also have a budget to spend on
To
local
spend on it.
on local
But it's
community
not like
projects.
It's still not an SME.
It's not an SME.
It's the local branch of Barclays. It's still not an SME.
Yeah.
I just want to also point out just a couple of little other things. Your vertical and vertical and horizontal were not. They weren't. That wasn't the way you'd used them. That wasn't the correct meaning of the expressions vertical integration. So when you go on to do your IMCs, just make sure that you confirm what is really meant by vertical and horizontal, because what you described wasn't it. And just a little thing from a presentation point of view, if you're sticking some little tiny graphs up with little tiny writing in, make sure that you know precisely what it is that chart is about before you put it up,
You couldn't read it.
or don't put it up, because it just feels awkward when you're trying to work it out, and it just makes it feel unrehearsed. Any other?
Yes. I think, again, your objectives, I saw some percentages for some and nothing for others. You must quantify objectives and they must be in actuals. How many people you've got to get involved to reach it. So again, it's just coming back to not just, 30% was one of the only one I saw as a figure on there. what does that mean in actuals. I don't think your target markets were really quite specific enough. There seemed to be an awful lot of events going on, and you seem to imply that it's WizKid that's organising them. Is that what you intended? Because it wasn't clear who would be running these events. How many people does WizKid employ?
And WizKid, they will have the university or the companies and
So this is what I think I said to one of the other groups is you've got to think about you've got to sell the ideas into the universities or the banks or whatever to get it as part of their social responsibility. But then you've got to actually find product champions who are actually, the people who are going to sell the cakes on a Wednesday. Who are they going to be? They're not going to be the institution. So that, if you come to the University of Westminster, the Vice-Chancellor isn't going to come out and sell cakes on a Wednesday, and he's not going to organise who does it. That would be something that they do through the Students' Union, who would then have individuals who get involved, like last year the people who ran for WizKids from this course. They were individuals, they had a product champion, and it wasn't clear from that who or how you were going to collect and organise and administer that, and that would be part of it. And I have to say, your direct marketing. What did we do in our sums class? How many are you going to send out? Not there, the details. You remember we've done all that work on how many people do you have to get to reach the number of people you want to donate. And never, never, never are you going to get a list from a university or a bank. They are not going to give you personal emails. Our university will never tell anyone your personal emails. And I've stressed this in class before, so you must remember that. That is a no-no. No institution is going to give you the emails of their employees. And what you might do is to get, if you can get into whoever is the sponsor within the organisation, and you get the message to them, they will then have some facility to send them out. So maybe if you had got a course leader interested in a university, they may then distribute it to their individuals, but never will they give you the list, and that's something we have talked about in class. I think I felt we had lots of suggestions of the events they might run, but I didn't really get an idea of what they would be and who would decide which. So it's almost like you've missed out that stages. You've got to get the enthusiasm by getting those organisations to commit. You've then got to work on supporting the people who are actually going to do these events and raise the money for you. So a little bit more definition specifically in the tools. I wasn't quite sure what the difference was between tools and media channel on one of your slides, because you had in the tools you had PR, DM, personal selling, but I wasn't sure what they were actually doing to achieve which objectives. And then when you got to the media channels, I'm not sure how they were different, because again you had events, social media and emailing. So
the channel just to support the communication tools.
What's the difference? So you're saying the overall thing is going to do PR,
Yeah, just like that.
but then what was the tools within PR you were going to use? Do you know what I mean? I got very confused about what was a tool and what was a channel. There wasn't enough detail. That's really all I'm saying. I'll shut up now.
I think that's it.
Okay, well done. It's all over now. Thank you very much.